You're listening to the Pink Property Podcast, where each week we will discuss hot property topics, introduce you to members of our team as well as special guests, and let you know about all the things that are going on at David Lee. Hi, and you join us back here on the sofas, and today we're introducing you to our great friend Adam Dockley.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us here, mate. A bit of an explanation really. We have partnered with Adam. Adam's joined us here in the business on the associate program, and we wanted to just take a moment today to talk through how that came about, what it looks like, and guess about the future really, and what's going to change and be different. First, mate, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Good to see
back.
You. Get silent. And
it's really interesting because obviously we've known each other for 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
We worked it out this afternoon. 2004.
Yeah, we were both at William H. Brown, and
I was
you
at
were
Shepherd's.
one of the competitors just down the road. So known each other for a long time.
But we've also, all the way through, while you've been on this amazing journey, we've had touch points. You know, we're out Mipping together. We when I set up Dockley's, and it would all, we all did things together.
Yeah, we did.
There was crossovers on deals that we did together as well. Cricketfield Lane and things.
And your
like
patch
that.
is so wide, isn't it? The sort of area that you cover. Just so from audience perspective, predominantly your focus area has been in and around the Docklands area for 10 years.
Longer. Nearly 20 years. I started in Canary Wharf in 2006, 6, something like that, just before the crash. That was an interesting time.
Absolutely good time.
I literally went to the office one morning because I used to get in early and nick all the applicants and go to the gym before everybody else. And I walked in one morning, looked around, and I was thinking, who are these people walking around with boxes? No. And then I put the television on, and Lehman Brothers had gone, and it was like, didn't expect that. But my vision when I was working out in Hertfordshire was always that, as you all know, so many people move out of London to Hertfordshire. We're one of the biggest commuter areas around, and there was no sort of synergy between agents. And when I was in Hertfordshire and I was selling country houses with Churchill's, and I was calling agents in London, checking chains, and I was saying to them, look, if you've got guys that are looking to move out here, why don't we do a deal? Why don't we sort something out? And then none of them ever called me. No one ever rings you back.
Stupid.
And I thought to myself, well, when I start up my own business, I'm going to do this. And so obviously knew a lot of people in Hertfordshire, a lot of people in Essex from over the years, and then London, and it sort of spread, and it was like the Lee Valley, all the way down the Lee Valley. And that's sort of what I want to bring with me to you guys. I'm an East London person now. I nearly said born and bred them. I'm not. I'm an outsider. Yeah, I'm an outsider, but I've slipped in, and now it's home. And I love the vibe. I love the energy that East London gives, and certainly seeing the changes. I mean, Canary Wharf is a different place.
20 years span, there's been a lot of changes, right?
And Docklands generally. I remember driving into Docklands with my stepmum, who was a marketing director for a company called Elliott's, who used to be in Bishop Stortford. And they did Miller's Wharf, and I remember driving in with her, and I was about 6 or 7, and saying, "Mum, who would really want to live here?" And then fast forward 20 years, 30 years, and I'm like, there.
So it was that bit all the way out, and even when you look at the skyline, it was just this void gap, wasn't there, between the towers from the city to the Docklands. So.
And now when you drive in, and I used to drive in. Before I lived in East London, I used to drive in from Hertfordshire every morning, and that bit on the M11 where you see the city and Canary Wharf. And even now, I drive back from family or coming out to see you guys or whatever. I get that little. There's something about it's almost like when you're in movies, you see like the New York skyline. It's a buzz.
It's an iconic skyline.
The feel of the place changed since, obviously we had the financial crisis, like you say, but through lockdown, how does the city look at the moment, and Docklands where you are?
Well, a lot of people back in the office now. And I think that it's changed in that Docklands was very much people that worked in financial services.
Of course.
And then when the place started to change, and Canary Wharf Group took over and started doing what they've done, which is just phenomenal to the Canary Wharf estate, and building, transforming that, and that sort of breeds off the back of it. And now I would say it would have been sort of 80% predominantly people working in the Wharf or working in the city.
Okay, fine.
Now, I'd say that's probably shifted to maybe as much as 50-50, maybe even more.
Yeah.
You know, because people realise that actually it's a really nice area.
It is.
It's clean.
It's very clean.
It's easy to get around. Now you've got Crossrail, now you've got DR, you know, Jubilee Line, all that sort of stuff. So it's really easy to get about town.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of grown and grown and grown. And that's testament to Tower Hamlets, you know, the planning policy there, and also, you know, all the developers, your Barclays, your Barrymores, your Barretts, you know, that are all building there, and changing these and building, you know, developments that have a sense of community.
Yeah.
You know, before when I first started working there, they were just tall towers, and you know, you barely spoke to your neighbour.
Yeah.
Now they've got gyms, pools, concierge, you know, cinema rooms.
Yeah.
They have events in some of these places as well. So, you know, it brings that sense of community, allowing dogs, allowing pets.
Yeah,
right. It brings families. They've built you know, a Montessori school now in Canary Wharf, which attracts people. And then the rest of Canary Wharf, I mean, you look at places like Hackney, you know, that's changed dramatically. Victoria Park Village and all around there, that used to just be Victorian houses and sort of not particularly safe area, really.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you've got these beautiful Victorian houses that people have bought and spent money on.
Brilliant.
You've got schools, car, bars, restaurants, you know, and it builds a community. And I think East London generally, I would go as far as say it's probably the nicest place in London to live. You know?
Yeah, it's come on so much.
Yeah.
It really
Are people staying there now, do you think? Because obviously we had everyone migrating out of London because of COVID.
Yep.
Are people now staying there? Are they going
moving
backwards?
back? They are. You know, I did a couple of deals, probably a few people that I sold for in London, and then I moved out to Hertfordshire, and I looked after their purchases. And a couple of them have actually phoned me recently and gone, it's a bit quiet out here. I'm like, you wanted to live here?
Yeah, what you wish for.
We went to drive around, because what I was doing was selling their places in London, bringing them out to Hertfordshire and Essex, and driving them around and saying, look, this is the areas obviously I know, and I grew up there. So I've been acting as a buying agent as well, which is something that, again, I've talked to you about, which
of course.
I really think I can add benefit to people.
It's a really
great service.
part of the service.
Really great service.
Because people, don't have the time. I've been in property like you guys for 25 years and know certainly country houses. I know, you know, a lot about the countryside and areas and things like that. And I can help them with negotiation. I can help them with, you know, surveyors, builders, lawyers, financing, all that sort of stuff. That I can literally just take all that stress because it is the most stressful.
It is.
We all know that. And and I think, certainly not here, because I've sat and listened and watched your guys and how you guys work, and I know that it's something that we obviously have a very similar work ethic.
Of course.
But I don't think agents make it easy for people.
No. And I think agents often forget that it's not something that you do every day.
No.
So actually,
because they do it every day.
We do it every day. So the terminology, the letdowns, all the stuff that happens during a process, almost water off a duck's back when we're doing it day in, day out.
Get
And I think
blasé
we
about
often forget that the stress and the ride, the roller coaster ride that people go on when they're buying or selling, and to have that empathy and a professional in position to be able to help guide you right the way through, not just selling but buying as well. I think is imperative.
I think it's that honest advice, isn't it? And they'll take it from you as their agent. That actually you're not trying to stop them or push them to buy something.
No.
It's right, let me give you best advice. Let me give you my thoughts on it.
Exactly.
Mark in the office was doing it earlier with a client that was desperate to buy a house that needs loads of work, yet they just had a little baby. So Mark was like, is that really the right thing to be doing? I understand why you want to. Great idea, but actually, let me give you some reality. I don't think that's the right time to do that.
A lot of work to take on
Let's
with the baby.
think about what's right. And he's now viewing properties that are in good condition. Might have some further development or potential, but something is in better condition.
And that is something that I think has got lost in agency over the last sort of 10 years, because agents have had it so good, it's almost like they've been order takers.
It's too transactional.
They've never had to really work for a deal. And whereas we've seen complete the opposite side of that. I mean, certainly when I just mentioned the credit crunch happened, you know, we just sat there and everyone was like, right, what do we do? And I was the only thing we can do is discuss pricing, you know, and so explain to people that unless you bring your price down, this ain't going to sell. You know, and the best thing to do is look at other properties on the market and see, okay, that's similar. Well, actually, you need to be a little bit below that to give yourself the best opportunity.
To remain competitive.
And actually, a lot of people that have been in their properties for a long time have still got that equity. Okay, it might have come off 10% since last year, but actually, you've still got a lovely bit of equity in your house. You can do that next jump, and it's all relative.
It is.
You know, if you're knocking X amount off yours,
gap between buying
it's going to be the same.
Yeah,
exactly the same.
And it's sometimes refocusing people's minds on that. And getting carried away with a reduction or a 10% here, but we actually grew 10% the year before, so we only just returned.
No one wants to hear that their price has gone down, but actually, when it's relative, if you're an investor and you're selling something, you obviously, you know, it's probably not a good time to do it. But if you're buying on,
if you're staying in the market,
you're and especially if you've got a good buying agent, they can negotiate on your behalf.
Find them the difference.
Exactly. You can get that transactional benefit for a lifestyle. That's what a lot of people are moving for at the moment, isn't it?
Absolutely. So what are you looking forward to doing now that you're joining with myself and Lee? What's that going to give you more time to do?
Absolutely. To look after people properly. I mean, I've always been service driven. You know, I want to give the best service. I want to give the best advice.
Brilliant.
And like I said to you, the way I want to do my commission is on a sliding scale, so that the more I make the client, the more I get paid, and I think that that's probably how agency will go. And I think that, you know, more and more people are going down the self-employed route or the affiliate route or whatever it is to be able to give that client service. And I've discussed with you as well, I don't necessarily need to take more than sort of 8 to 10 clients on to sell at a time. I don't think I can give them all of me if I take on more than that. And in which case, you know, you've got to pay for that service because
I think it's very honest. Very honest.
You've got a lot of my time. I'm free at any time. I'm always on the phone. You know, I love the weekly updates. It's something that I introduced previously in my past job, and I really like the fact that they get an update once a week. Also, a nice call with me or a Zoom if they live overseas or you know, or they live out of the area. We can do a Teams or a Zoom or something.
I think as the market changes, that's more important than ever now, right?
100%.
That
You've got to be in
information
contact with people.
and the contact and communication
Touch
from
points
your
constantly. Absolutely, and then understand. Okay, it hasn't. You know, the first 4 weeks are always the most imperative time for selling. Of
course.
Right? And understand what people are saying when they're coming through the door. And if there's something coming back time and time again, we can deal with it. After that 4th week, you're thinking, right, okay, well, maybe we need to do something different if it hasn't sold. And it's, you know, where are other things on the market? What is this property comparable to mine? Is this how comes this one sold and mine hasn't? And, you know, being able to sit on a call or sit in a meeting with them and sort of go through it and have the time to do that.
Absolutely. Which you will. You've got that time.
I mean, I had a friend of mine who worked for one of these online estate agents, and he said to me at one point he had 50 to 60 clients to deal with at once. He said, I had to leave because I can't give a service. You know, and that's what happens. So, you know, that's what I'm really looking forward to. Actually looking after people and being able to give them my time.
Yeah, lovely.
And then obviously on the sales side and on the letting side of the business, still active in operating and wanting to work and look after clients there.
Exactly. Again, you know, clients that I've bought for, clients that I've looked after, friends and family, whatever, that have got property that they've introduced to me. You know, I've sat and listened to your team here and already one of the deals that we've done, a new deal that we've done, the lady's gone and called me and said, I am so impressed with David Lee and the way that they've worked. And she's going to do us a nice little review.
Brilliant.
So
the team are awesome.
I'm really ecstatic. Thank you very much. And then there's the other side of it.
Land and New Homes.
Land and New Homes.
Yes. Yeah, super exciting.
Which again, you know, we've been here a week and we've talked about a potential offer. And possibly an instruction. Well, we have got an instruction as well.
It's such a busy little space for us, isn't it? And with your contacts and communications from developers that you've dealt with in the past, I just know there's going to be so much crossover that we can do across the counties really and into London.
Well, I've got a meeting next week that was supposed to be tomorrow. It's now next week. I only got a call a minute ago, but that you know, that's in one of the patches for one of your
for one of the
team.
other associates.
And that's great because
that's
we
how
can
the
sit
network
down,
effect is really working.
Exactly, and that's what I've come for.
Yeah.
You know, it's as well the network. I mean, it was all well and good having your own estate agency, but it's, you know, it's a very lonely place.
It really can be. Yeah.
And a lot of times it was a very lonely place, and to come into a team and be, I tell you what, the amount you guys have done for me in the last 2 weeks has been phenomenal, and your team as well. Like, thank you so much.
No worries.
It's best service, isn't it, for the client? Again, the depth of the team here allows you to do what you're best at.
Yeah.
Me to do what I'm best at. Lee
to do what he's.
And everyone, is backed up by the support of a fantastic team.
Absolutely.
So, and we can all help each other out. So
That's exciting.
Thanks for taking the time with us,
My
mate.
pleasure.
Really looking forward to what we got.
Excited.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot. Cheers.